Okay, we're going to apply a little bit of oven cleaner inside the engine block on the cast block here to clean the oil residue that's been on there for 70 years or so. And here we go. We'll let this set for a little bit and then wipe it off, and we should have nice clean bare steel once it's done. Oven cleaner is a good degreaser, and it won't iron the cast block. And be careful not to spray too much on the bearings. I'll wipe those off. There we go. Okay, we're back on the 261 here, and we're going to be, we had our camshaft apart the last video and found that we had a worn cam lobe here, and as well as the fuel pump lobe, and come to find out there's no way to repair that properly, so we had to end up using the number that is stamped on the camshaft. We were able to source one out and through Summit Racing, and we've got a new cam and lifters on the way, so that will take care of our camshaft problem.
Checking in on JP, see how he's making out here.
Cleaning up.
It's looking good.
Get one clean block here. Okay, I've cleaned all the inside of the block with that oven cleaner and dried it all out, washed it off with solvent. And we have a nice clean block to work with here now. And now I'm in the process of going through all the oil passages, the oil galleries for the engine with a brass brush and just cleaning out all of the oil passages like so. Make sure that there's nothing, no dirt in there, and then I'll wash them out with solvent as well. And then blow them all out with some compressed air. There we go. Okay, so our oil pump attaches here in this hole here up here, and the oil gets driven by the camshaft through here, which drives the distributor, drives the oil pump. The oil gets picked up into this tube, goes in through the tube, comes out this tube, in through this fitting here, and it will go inside the engine through these cast lines that are inside the engine, these passages. They come out through here in the main bearings, here, here, and here. And from the main bearing, it gets squeezed into the main bearing, and also gets squeezed out through these holes up here in the top to lubricate the camshaft bearings as well. So that's how your pressurized oil system lubricates the internals of the engine. Okay, so on the 261 today, we are going to deglaze the cylinders. As the engine runs and the rings wear against the cylinders, they get all nice and shiny like so, and the rings seal against the cylinders. So what we're going to do, where we removed the pistons, and the rings can get moved around on the piston and not necessarily go right back into the cylinder as they were, we're going to deglaze, remove this shine, and get a little bit of a grind pattern in so that the pistons, piston rings will reseal against the cylinders properly once we fire the engine up. And for that, we are using a ball hone, like so, on the end of the grill. And I will be using Varsol as a lubricant. We're going to install the ball hone in the cylinder, like so. I lubricate it, and I will be running this up and down. And we run that the length of the cylinder like so to take the shine off. Just we'll wipe this down. And as you can see, we're starting to get a bit of a machine pattern in there. And it has to be a certain pattern so that the rings will seal properly and oil won't get by. So that's why I'm going back and forth in a certain speed. And I'll be checking my marks to make sure that I get the correct pattern in there. And I've got to run it just a little bit more. But that will ensure a proper seal. Even though we're reusing the rings, it will ensure that the rings will seal properly into each cylinder once we get the car going again.
You can see inside the first 4 cylinders how they're now clean. And these 2 are still dirty. You want to explain why you're doing that?
Yep, as soon as I can find my book. What did I do with the bolt? There we go. Okay, I've sprayed some brake clean in each of the bolt holes for the cylinder head, and I'm using a clean bolt, and I'm driving it down in to push the fluid out and clean up all the threads. So you'll see it come out there when I screw it down in. There we go. This one's getting pretty clean. The stuff that's coming out wasn't too dirty. And then we'll blow them dry. There we go. There's still some dirt in that one. A little bit of dirt came out of that. One, getting pretty good.
Got a picture of the after showing how nice and clean they all are now. Well done, JP.
Thanks.
All the inside's clean. So JP's taping it off so that we can start on the outside cleaning.
Okay, fresh from the upholstery shop. This is the newly upholstered original seat and door panels for the 58 Sedan Delivery.
We had a lady from Yarmouth do the interior or upholstery, and she didn't want her name mentioned. She doesn't want too much work, but I think she did a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see them in the car. We have JP working on the engine today with his little Dremel. He is displaying his patience and grinding it right back to bare cast to get it ready for priming. He also does teeth cleaning. This is our pile of clean parts, all ground back to metal. Just to give you an idea of how many hours actually go into this kind of detailing. but it'll show in the finished product. We're basically about 4 hours in, just to give you guys an idea how much labor goes into this. And that's just dremeling that one side of the block.
Okay, so here we are with our 261 block. We got it all masked off and covered up so that no dirt gets inside. I've been working on this side here. I've got it all ground down and ready, prepped for paint. And as you can see, this side is still just gray. So this one isn't ready yet. I haven't ground it yet. So you can see the difference between this side and this one. So this has all been completely ground, all the old paint, all the dirt, everything is all cleaned off. And I just wiped it down with paint reducer just to clean off any kind of oil residue that may be left so that the paint will adhere. And we're going to start with a primer, and I'm going to be using an etching primer. And that is so that it will adhere to the block properly and that the paint will adhere to the primer properly. So I'm going to put my respirator on and we'll just do a little demonstration of what it's going to look like once primed. And there we go, we have a coat of primer on, and that block will be ready for paint once that dries. We'll eventually get it all painted. And that's what we're going to have to do to the other side as well. So there's a start.